Huh. Well, if you watched my NFL week predictions with my Uncle Daryl, I did say the Bears would get blown out. Now, the Chiefs had scored another touchdown, they would have got to 50 points. And the Bears, I was only 4 points off of what I thought the Bears would score. My initial prediction was we would be getting blown out 50-14. But the Bears lose 41-10. Regardless, on all facets of the game, it was just an embarrassing loss. Nothing else to say. Really nothing. The Bears just got their asses whooped. The Bears got the Bears, shockingly and surprisingly, they got the first stop of the drive against the Chiefs, and then until Patrick Mahomes really got taken out of the game, the Bears defense literally couldn't stop him. They were overmatched. They were just overmatched. They were overwilled. Plain and simple. The offense, Justin Fields goes out there to say in a press conference, on Wednesday or Monday, Wednesday, that, he's going to be him, he's going to be himself and everything. And he sure was himself, ladies and gentlemen. He sure was himself. Let me read you the stat lines, ladies and gentlemen. Let me read you the stat line. Justin Fields, 11 for 22, 99 yards passing, 1 TD, 1 interception, 11 carries for 47 yards. That's definitely Justin. Now, obviously, before Bear fans come to say, oh, you can't blame Justin for this and everything, I don't. To some extent, I don't. There's still some things where he's holding onto the ball too much, where he had times to throw the football, taking bad sacks, not running when he should have ran. It's simple. All I got to say is the Bears have ruined Justin Fields, just like every other quarterback they've ran in the past. And the depressing part is he was the most talented quarterback they have drafted up to this point. And with the fact that seemingly enough, it looks like the Bears are probably going to be, not probably, they are the worst team in the NFL. They're going to have the first overall pick of this year's draft. And if Caleb Williams does go into the draft and not do what he said he might potentially do, what is it? The Bears are going to draft him, and that will be the second straight quarterback that is very talented that they have drafted. And if they ruin him in another 4 years, if they get him, to be honest, I might have to stop being a Bears fan for the rest of my goddamn life. Because all I know is pain and suffering. It's just bad, man. It's just bad. The Bears have ruined Justin Fields. At this point, we said maybe when we get to the offseason, you trade him. Honestly, now thinking about it, what's stopping the Bears from potentially just trading him before the trade deadline this season? Really, what? You can clearly see he hasn't taken the next step. Obviously, the offense doesn't help, but again, there's times where he has the time to throw, and for some reason, he's not doing it. And probably for his confidence reasons, it's probably best to trade him somewhere, salvage him somewhere else, go to a team that might need a quarterback. The Jets need a quarterback, so maybe they believe in him. He can be paired up with Garrett Wilson again. But again, they don't really have a good offensive line either. Trade him somewhere to where they can work with him and they can get his confidence back and be the player he was back at Ohio State. And honestly, I can perfectly see in a perfect scenario the Bears trading Justin Fields away to get any terms of compensation for him and, just move on. And that will clearly make their intentions clear that they are tanking and they will be drafting a quarterback. Now, that would be interesting because then who you starting? Nathan Peterman? I guess if you're going to really truly embrace the tank, you'll start Nathan Peterman. But honestly, at this point, I would just go to Tyson Bagent if you do end up trading Fields in season at this point to just get the opportunity to see what he can give you and things like that. And maybe if he plays solid enough, maybe you think about it that he could say. But again, at the end of the day, if you have a generational talent or a great player in Caleb Williams right there on the market, especially if he enters the draft, you're not going to roll Tyson Bagent. You're going to be like, let's go with the freaking player with the skills. Now, like I said it last week. I said if you go that direction, you have to fire and relieve this coaching staff of their duties because it is just terrible. Absolutely terrible. Everybody in that locker room should be embarrassed. This entire week started off just absolutely terrible for the Bears with the Alan Williams stuff, and everything. It was just a terrible week. Honest to God, and what a better way to put a cherry on top of this shitty week that is the Chicago Bears. You embarrass yourself with the Alan Williams situation and the fact that you can't handle that shit correctly from a PR department. That's embarrassing, which I'll touch into in a second. You have coaches and players openly and blatantly lying about that situation and saying that they're going to do something, doing this talk that will be better going into this week. And then you come out and you have an embarrassing performance like that on a nationally televised game on Fox, America's Game of the Week. By the time they started the second half, you had the Fox crew saying, yeah, because basically this game is a blowout right now, we're going to move over to the Cowboys and the Cardinals game. Yes, the same Arizona Cardinals that were projected to be the worst team in the NFL. The same Cardinals team that I've seen in 3 straight weeks play competitive-ass football. You go look at the Cardinals. They had a competitive game against the Commanders. They had a competitive game against the New York Giants. And they just had a competitive game against the Cowboys, and they beat them. So how is it that the damn Arizona Cardinals can give more effort, more hustle, more will, more competitive fire than the goddamn Chicago Bears? And they're doing that with a backup quarterback in Joshua Dobbs, and he looks better than Justin Fields. Embarrassing week. And if Matt Eberflus, after I'm done with this video, when I go to watch other Bear podcasters and the football after show on NBC Sports Chicago, if I have to hear Matt Eberflus in his gosh darn press conference talk about the damn positives of this game in terms of the turnovers we had in the game when Blaine Gabbert was in at quarterback, not Patrick Mahomes, and the fact that the offense managed to get 10 points, which shows that they didn't give up at the end of the day. If he goes up there and he says that, I swear, every damn beat reporter for the Chicago Bears should literally get up, leave, walk out the door, and freaking not even have to listen to this guy anymore. I'm done. I don't even know if I want to do another game recap this season, because what's the point? What else is there to talk about? The quarterback is not good. He's ruined. The offense doesn't work. The defense sucks. Everything sucks. And it's more embarrassing every time that I watch this team. I knew they were going to get blown out, but not in this embarrassing-like fashion. And you can say, but they did get blown out. It's pretty embarrassing. You can get blown out, and you just know you're going to get blown out. And you're like, all right, whatever. But the way they were getting blown out, it was just embarrassing. You had freaking guys not knowing snap counts and everything. You're not running the offense properly. The defense can't seem to stop anybody because they want to leave Travis Kelce wide open on every play. So what? Did the Bears defense want to show off what Travis Kelce can do in front of, I'm guessing now, his new girlfriend in Taylor Swift? Because when he caught that touchdown, she was sure as hell jumping up in joy right next to his mama, freaking just happy and excited. And that only just tells me, well, good luck, Travis Kelce. You just got yourself a good-looking girl in Taylor Swift. She is now your girlfriend, and I guarantee you, she is definitely going to give it to him tonight. Yes, so aka the Bears got their backs blown out against the Kansas City Chiefs, basically with Taylor Swift watching. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Absolutely embarrassing performance. There's nothing positive you can take away from this game, but the only thing you can know is, well, at least we'll have Caleb Williams and we'll be in this discussion again. You know, the Bears right now, they're playing so damn bad on defense and on offense that they literally look like they're going to be the next 0-something team. The 0-something team. The 0-17 team. A winless team. And for NFL fans that don't get it, I wasn't expecting the Bears to make the playoffs. Maybe they find a way to get there, but they're competitive. They're fighting. And it's like I said with the Cardinals. They're a competitive team that is now 1-2. They were 0-2. If the Bears are 0-3 right now and they are competitive, they are in games. Justin Fields is taking the next step, but they're just losing just barely. But they're almost there, and then you can feel it. Then I wouldn't be mad here. I wouldn't be ranting here to you guys. But the Bears are not competitive. It's like as if they give up one touchdown, they mail it in, and they're like, oh, that's all right. Game over. Well, let's do what we can. That's it. That's what they do. When an opposing team scores in them, they pack it in and they give up. But you see, I can't fault that. That's what happens when you have a losing culture. That's what happens when you have lost 13 straight games under this current regime. And when this current regime, especially the head coach, only lives off the HITS principle, which is hustle, intensity. I forgot what the T stands for, and then the S stands for smart. I know it stands for smart. Hustle, intensity. I forgot what the T stands for, and then the S stands for smart. That HITS philosophy sure is working out, Matt Eberflus. It works when you're winning games and you're competitive. And you're coming up, even though you're coming up short, you're still competitive. But it doesn't work if you're getting your backs blown out. You're getting blown out every week, and it's not even a contest every single week. And you keep losing. There's only so much you can tell these guys in the freaking huddle or in a timeout in the locker room. We got to live by the HITS principles, guys. We got to live by it. I don't give a crap. That entire locker room has lost favor with Matt Eberflus. They are not listening to him. They are not playing for Matt Eberflus. If anything, they might, to a semblance, are playing with their own pride. Like, for example, after Justin Fields took a nasty hit, he should have been done for the rest of the day. Should have been done. Should have been done. But he goes out there probably because of pride reasons. He probably wants to go out there with his brothers, and probably he knows he's getting his ass beat. Probably is like, I might as well get my ass beat and join them too, because I was a part of it as well. Absolutely stupid. And this whole embarrassing stuff goes to the start when Alan Williams resigned. Now, I made a video talking about it, and I said maybe he left because of health and family reasons. But the way the Bears players and coaches were talking about the situation, how they didn't want to bring it up, it sounded as if it was a much more serious issue. And lo and behold, information comes out. It's actually a lot more serious issue than health and family reasons. Adam Schefter basically reported that apparently the reason behind the resignation of Alan Williams had to do with inappropriate conduct that ended up getting Bears HR, aka Human Resources Department, involved in the situation too. So I don't know if this guy did something inappropriate with an HR staff member or any other staff member with the Bears, or maybe he wasn't doing something that was appropriate conduct. But basically, AKA, Alan Williams got his ass fired for that reason. Which means the Bears effing lied to the fan base and they lied to their own media. Because remember, they were saying this was for family/personal reasons, health reasons, right? In the build-up to this. But the way reporters were asking the Bears questions, players and coaches like Matt Eberflus, it's like they didn't want to even bring up the situation. Ryan Poles even did a press conference, and he didn't want to bring up anything. And he lied, saying it was health and family reasons. It wasn't. It was something to deal with inappropriate workplace behavior. Something that is not tolerated in the workplace and in professional sports. And let me tear down my personal life. I work for a professional sports organization myself. And I know good and damn well, as a man, hell, as a young black man, I have to be respectful to women or any other co-workers in the workplace. And that inappropriate behavior cannot be obviously conducted. That is not good. Because that's how you lose jobs, and that's how it gets other people in the know. And when other people in the know, that's when they would look at me and be like, we can't hire this person. Because we don't know how he's going to act in our organization. So the Bears openly lied, knowing good and damn well it was an inappropriate workplace conduct that Alan Williams was doing behind the scenes that ended up getting him fired. The reason why I'm so upset about this is this. All the Bears could have done, Ryan Poles, all he could have done on Thursday, or Matt Eberflus, better in fact, could have did, but mostly Ryan Poles, all he could have said is, hey, after a few investigations, we've come to the conclusion of the termination of Alan Williams was due to inappropriate workplace behavior behind the scenes. We won't get into detail with what behavior he was doing, but we handled that on our end. We let him go. Best of wishes towards whatever he goes on from here. Probably not best of wishes, but you just say we have terminated him effectively from the organization. He's no longer part of the Chicago Bears organization. We called an organizational wide meeting, players, coachings, staff of different departments throughout the organization, board members, everybody. We made it known across everybody that a conduct like that will not be tolerated. And if that is tolerated or reported, it will be an immediate case of an investigation/termination. That's all you have to say. And you have to say, from that point on, we will not be taking any further questions about it. That is it. It's handled. We want the team to focus on to the Chiefs. That's all you got to say. Matt Eberflus didn't say that. Ryan Poles, your GM, didn't say that. They both stated he resigned for health and personal family reasons. So your head coach and your GM openly lied about the Alan Williams situation. That's how a good team handles it. That's how they handle good PR. You just come out with the truth. You'd say, hey, this workplace unconduct, inappropriate workplace behavior, we have terminated him. We're moving on from that. We have a focus to try to beat the Kansas City Chiefs this week, and we will not be taking any further questions at the time. He is gone. We had a whole meeting amongst the entire organization and their staff and said workplace or behavior like that will not be tolerated. That's all you got to say. And I think if that information comes out, nobody would be criticizing the organization for the secretiveness of it. But because they don't want the whole information, the whole issue to come up because they think they're going to get slandered for it, they have bad PR. And they lie openly to the media and the fans. They do that. And because of it, the Bears look even worse coming out of that situation. Because I have a feeling, all right, the way the Bears and the coaches are talking about this Alan Williams situation, it sounds like as if he did something a lot worse. And clearly he did. Now, I think in the lead up, we'll find out what he was doing, whether that was maybe, having I guess you can say sexual harassment in the workplace or something else that he was probably not doing. Maybe he was defaming or saying offensive slurs to somebody that wasn't workplace appropriate. I don't know. But it's not a good look. It is not a good look by the Bears. Their PR department is terrible. The PR on that, terrible. They handled it poorly. The coaching staff handled it poorly. So then that then takes Matt Eberflus to now be the current and modern play caller for the defense. An absolutely embarrassing performance from him. Literally nothing to show. The defense got gashed, did whatever they wanted, no pressure on Patrick Mahomes. And that's pretty much it. Plain and simple. And I think we're at this point now. Matt Eberflus has to go. He has to be fired. He has to be fired. Because one, I think without a shadow of a doubt, nobody believes in what Matt Eberflus is saying anymore at this point. They're probably caring less about what he's saying. And they're like, dude, I'm just going to be here to collect my check and move on and go home. But at this point, there's nothing Eberflus can say. After this performance, he should be fired. He should be fired. At some point in this season. I don't care if it's tomorrow. It should be tomorrow. I don't care if it's after the Broncos game. I don't care if it's in week 10. He should be fired mid-season. But you want to know what? The Bears won't do that because it's against their tradition. It's against their family core values. It's against or it's against the organization's guidelines. We don't want to fire a head coach during the NFL season. We want to give them a chance. Who knows? Maybe firing Eberflus sparks a light in this team, a light bulb in this team, and they play better with him not on the sidelines and somebody else being an interim head coach. Time and time again, I watch these other organizations, some point, they know they're dead in the water. They just get the damn job done. They fire their head coach. They have an interim guy, and sometimes it actually sparks them. It makes them play better. Look at the Carolina Panthers from last year. They fired Matt Rule, and they had, I forgot what's his name, but he's the DC for the freaking San Francisco 49ers. And the Carolina Panthers, albeit they were still losing games, they looked better. They were competitive. They had some sort of spark. So why can't the Bears do the same? Why can't the Bears do the same? But they don't want to go against tradition. But if we see a firing, it's probably going to be Luke Getsy getting fired next. That's probably going to be the next thing, which would leave the Bears with no permanent DC and a no permanent OC. You have an interim OC. Who that permanent interim OC is, I don't care. Could you please play call better if Justin Fields is on the field, please, than what Luke Getsy is doing? But it doesn't matter what OC is. Fields is cooked. He's done. He's cooked. It's over. The Justin Fields experience is over. Now, this Justin Fields jersey, the blue navy one, and the white one, the classic old school white jersey I have, it's done. It's garbage now. It's just going to be collecting dust, sitting in the freaking closet. As I go to get probably a Caleb Williams jersey if he's a Chicago Bear. Literally. Plain and simple. It's absolutely depressing. Absolutely depressing. This coaching staff needs to go. They need to be purged. Matt Eberflus needs to go. The team just looks like a shell of himself. Or not a shell of themselves. The team looks worse than what they should be right now. They want to be a playoff team, but they'd be playing more competitive. And they look as bad, if not worse, than they did last year. And they have better talent than last year's team. And they look worse. You know, after Lovey got fired, yeah, the Mark Trestman, the John Fox, and the Matt Nagy eras, they were bad football. But I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Please tell me where I'm wrong. Was those eras of Bears football worse than what is right now? You can't really say anything about the Mark. We thought Mark Trestman was bad. Looking back at it now, maybe it wasn't that bad. You actually had a pretty solid offense. John Fox is probably right now maybe next to line runner up for maybe worst Bears teams he's coached. But even then, you look at him and be like, even though he was bad, it wasn't as rock bottom as it is now. And Matt Nagy, Lord have mercy, he got his revenge on us for good. And he's probably happy as hell that he got revenge. And I guarantee the game ball was probably dedicated to Matt Nagy for beating his former team that screwed him over. Well, I wouldn't say screwed him over. He did to himself. But they probably feel like he got screwed over, right? So, yeah. And listen, Matt Nagy, under his watch, it was bad. After that first year in 2018, it was bad. But I never thought in my wildest dreams would another Bears regime, another era of Bears football would be this bad, would be as bad as the Matt Nagy era, if not worse than the Matt Nagy era of football for years, especially the way we were looking promising. And lo and behold, the Matt Eberflus era of Chicago Bears football is worse than Matt Nagy. It's worse. Because, the thing is, it's this. It isn't after 2 touchdowns. It's typically after the first touchdown, and you already feel game's over. Game's over. After 1 touchdown, you probably have a majority of your fans saying game's over. Especially if your offense doesn't score first. The moment I knew the Chiefs scored, the first touchdown, I was like, game's over. Game over. Done. It's over. Finished. And yeah, that's basically it. So it's worse. This era is worse. So bad. 13 straight games on a losing streak. 13 straight games. Going on 14 now, because if you saw the Denver Broncos get their backs blown out, worse than what the Bears did, they got 70-pieced. Oh, they're going to come into Chicago, and they're going to be like, fuck it. We're going to get revenge. We're going to freaking show the Bears up. They actually might run the score up on you. They might 70-piece you for what happened to them. Because after a game, I haven't been a part of a blowout like that, but knowing a blowout like that is going to happen under Sean Payton, he's going to be like, we're getting into practice first thing in the morning tomorrow, and we're going to correct this shit, and we're going to be ready to play the Bears. And guess what? The Bears are going to get embarrassed at home. You're going to hear the Jaquan Brisker. You're going to hear the Boo Birds. You are. Shit, you might as well. You're probably going to hear Put in Bajent. You're going to probably hear Tyson Bajent chants going on too. You're going to probably also have Fire Eberflus chants going on. Year 2, and we might hear Fire Eberflus chants. It's deserved, yes, but you would never believe that's just the case. But that's besides the point. So if you go to the Bears game next week, well, voice your frustrations. Voice it all. Voice it all. Boo when they don't do anything on offense or defense. Chant fire Matt Eberflus all you want. If the fans start chanting Tyson Bajent, I can't really hate. Justin Fields hasn't played good. He hasn't. So if he starts getting Tyson Bajent chants, can't really do anything about that. It's going to hurt Fields' pride, but, and you might probably say some backhanded comment in the media and things like that, but, it just sucks because he's now added to the list of Chicago Bears quarterbacks that the organization has ruined. And at this point, there's no hope for this team. And as a Bears fan, it sucks. And then, like I said, again, it's also embarrassing that you are America's Game of the Week. And basically, at halftime, basically before the second half starts, Fox Crew is like, we're going to go to another game. They shut your own game off. Shut your own game off to go watch The Cardinals-Cowboys game. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Does McCaskey's have any balls? He'll fire Matt Eberflus first thing in the morning. He can't come back. I'm going to go listen to his press conference. He's probably going to go spew some bullshit. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And I'm just going to have to hope when's the week he's getting fired. Because right now, he's not outliving this. He's not outliving this. The way the team's playing, they might not win a game. They might go 0-17, seriously. And yes, they play the Panthers this year. The Panthers could beat them. The Panthers could beat them. At least the Panthers suck too, because that means we're number 2 and number 3. So let me check the Panthers score. And the Panthers did lose. So far, we have back-to-back picks and everything. So, yes, let me look at Twitter before anything. So, yeah, it's bad, man. It's bad. It's just it's bad. Courtney Cronin even said, I've covered some bad losses in 8 years as an NFL beat writer. It's safe to say this one rises to the top of the list as the worst. Chicago's losing streak ascends to 13 for getting blown out. Denver at home. Let's see if there's anything from. Yeah. FanDuel already has the Bears as a 3-point underdog against the Broncos. Already a 3-point underdog. Absolutely embarrassing. Oh, wow. Well, here's all your first BS comment from Matt Eberflus. That locker room is tight, and it's going to have to be tight now. There's a lot of outside noise. At this point, I don't care. I don't care. I'm done. If your head coach is saying that, then it's just bad. It's just bad. Whatever. I'm done. I'll be back talking NFL recap for the week and predictions for next week. It's going to be on the table if I want to do a game recap after Bears Broncos, but right now, honestly, what's there else to talk about? I've already ranted as much as I can about this team. There's nothing really else to talk about. So there might not be a Bears Broncos game recap because really everything I've said these first 3 weeks, what more can I say? I can only scream at my laptop screen asking for Matt Eberflus to get fired. And until I see it, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. Remember, he called this defense and gave up 41 points. His defense, he called 41 points. But whatever. Done. Catch you guys later.